welcome in. The new drug today is a midweek installment of our little program. It's brought to you by our friends at Coyle & Sons Fencing. I saw those Coyle folks out there today at the Breakin' Baseball Complex. We're doing all our fencing, and, man, they do a terrific job. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you. A little bit warmer today. It was cold yesterday. It was nice today. It was overcast.
We've got Santa La Selva.
Yeah, what are you doing in there?
Ho, ho, ho.
Is that like a turn sideways so I can see it better? Is it like a Miami Hurricanes Christmas hat?
Miami Hurricane Santa hat.
Okay. Is it new?
No.
Okay.
When did you get it? What's the story behind
I
it?
have no idea.
I need all the details.
I
I'm
have
with you.
no freaking
I was
idea.
thinking you were going to say, like, when you were 6 years old, Michael Irvin gave it to you.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting on.
Signed by Howard Schnellenberger.
All I know. Tell me if you feel. Tell me if you feel this way. Guy walks in here with a Santa hat and doesn't bring us a gift. What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean.
I'm
just saying.
We have a whole week left.
I'm just saying. It's an observation. Okay. God Almighty, what are we doing around here? I'm excited about the game on Sunday. More and more I think about it. I got a topic I'm going to get to you about, ask you about that. Brenton Strange today. We're going to hear from the tight end who's really evolving. I mean, Jeff Lageman thinks he might be as good as any tight end in the league. Now, I don't know if we're there yet, but he is certainly evolving into among the really good complete tight ends in the league, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Brenton Strange is having an excellent year. He's been great coming back from the injury that had a little bit of a minor setback for this season for him. But yeah, he's rebounded great, and he does it all. So he's a big asset. Look, the worst this offense has looked this season is when they did not have Brenton Strange. Now, I'm not saying you can make a direct correlation to that.
But it's an accurate point.
But of all the injuries that they've endured, the one that it really showed up with was Brenton Strange. So yeah, he's vital to their success.
Yeah, so we'll certainly talk some Jaguar football coming up on the program today. And about as well as some other stuff. We'll continue to update you on the portal. More portal news happens, kind of pours in every day. We'll certainly talk about that on the program today. Some college basketball is we sort of have a little bit of a gap now between now and when we get to the conference season, but it's right around the corner. Brett Hastings stops by in a few minutes. I asked Brett to really break down the whole Sharon Moore story. We touched on it. He can tell you what he saw. We tell you what we think happened. But what are the accusations? What are the charges? Because it's still one of the most bizarre stories I've ever seen with a head coach. I mean, this is the head coach of one of the bluest of blue bloods, Hayes. That it's just a bizarre story. So what is stalking an accusation? Is stalking a charge? It is not an accusation. Is it a charge? What comes with it? What the threats?
I wonder how it varies too, state to state.
Right.
Like, is home invasion something that is a felony everywhere, and things like that? Because I always think that's interesting, like how states sometimes a crime is less severe elsewhere. Anyway, so I don't know that Brett can speak to that, but it'd be interesting if he can.
But yeah, those are my questions. I mean, listen, attempted murder and murder, we know what those are.
Right.
Okay. This one's a little different enough that I want to learn more about it, and Brett is the best at that.
Even something like they charged him with breaking and entering, but like the door was unlocked.
Yeah.
So like, how does that anyway? It's just it'll be interesting to sort of what will his defense do to try and poke holes in the charges?
Yeah, so we'll certainly talk all about that today. How about the Dolphins benching Tua?
Had to happen.
And I guess,
they're in trouble with his contract.
Yeah, and
But he's terrible.
Yeah, well, that's it. But there's a team that won a bunch of games in a row. They won it with defense and they ran the ball, but they run. And I will tell you this: I never loved him as a prospect. He just didn't look the part to me. I'm not saying that. I'm not new to this. You work with me every day.
I remember you didn't like him in the process.
I never loved him as a prospect, so I'm not shocked by it. But it still kind of jarred me a little bit that Quinn Ewers is suddenly going to be their quarterback. Not Zach Wilson. Quinn Ewers is going, and I don't know what to think of Quinn Ewers. A guy that
I think it's smart on the Dolphins. You're
I
out
do
of
too.
it.
I do too.
You've got like 3 games left. Obviously, Tua is not. You got to get rid of Tua this offseason, no matter how penal it's going to be from a cap hit. It just can't bring him back.
At some point, you got to do it, right?
Yeah, and Zach Wilson, the odds that he's going to find new life, I'd say it's slim. So why not go with Quinn Ewers, who you never know, maybe you catch lightning in a bottle.
And by the way, if I want to brag to everybody how I was kind of right about Tua, I thought Zach Wilson would be a good player, so I couldn't have been more wrong about him. I didn't think he'd be as good as Trevor, but I thought he would be a decent football player in the end. I'm surprised he didn't become a better player. He looked like a guy to me that would wind up being a pretty good player. So I was kind of off on that one. So we'll talk. But anyway, interesting storyline that we'll certainly get to. Did you make anything? Does anything come of the Puka Nacua comments, do you think?
In terms of the officiating?
I was saying officials make stuff up to get on TV. It's not like the day after a game, and like the moment after a game he said it when
I don't think. Here's what I would say. I don't think the officiating has been strong this season.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's been an abject disaster like some that I'm hearing. First off, I think what's happening is we have access to way more games than what we used to have access to. And so I think it feels like it's been heavier this season than in most. I don't, and certainly locally, it started off on a bad note because of the week 2 phantom pass interference that cost the Jaguars. The officiating, I don't think, has been particularly strong, but I don't think it's been light years worse than what it normally is. And would I agree with Puka Nacua that some officials, I think, look to get on camera? Absolutely. I think absolutely there's officials that love nothing more than when they know. I'm talking about referees. I'm not saying the back judge that throws a flag is trying to get on camera. And I didn't hear Nakua's specific comment. I just know it was about, officials trying to get on TV. But the referees, the white hats, that they're the ones that get to announce it to the crowd. Oh, I think way too many of them take glee in having those moments.
Yeah, and I've got a. So
I'm waiting for half of them try and flex like they're Hulk Hogan, and their Hulkamania is running wild.
I will say this: all the referees, the head referees, I think now you can't be a head referee unless you spend 8 months in the gym. I really did.
Ed Hockley started.
I thought it started. I was going to say the same thing. I think it started with Hockley because even his son looks like that now. But I thought it started with Ed Hockley. But look at them. They're all jacked up. So, but I got a thought about officiating. I'm going to get to later on in the program. I got a thought about Puka Nacua's comments. I got a thought, and I want to run it by you. I'm going to do it later in the program. I got a thought about that. I got a thought about Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to run that by you about later on in the program as well. I got some
AFC Player of the Week.
How could he not be?
Yeah.
That
one should have been pretty easy for the league to figure that one out.
If he was even considered not to be, then there's a.
What's his case? Yeah. Well, he did something that's never been done before.
Correct in the history of the league. So we'll certainly get to that. I got a thought about college basketball. That's going to come up later in the program. So I got all kind of
big game tonight for the Gators.
Yeah. But
big game tonight.
Did you see where they're a 45-point favorite?
I was talking to Mark Long about it, our buddy who
What's
covers.
What's the over/under?
So apparently, to hear Mark tell it, who covers the Gators and Jags for Associated Press, there's a belief that this is the worst team that's ever walked into the O-Dome.
I read that somewhere.
Yeah,
is this the Long Island of basketball?
It's the Long Island of basketball. Yeah. So Florida's like a 45-point favorite tonight. Golden pretty much told the media yesterday that you're not going to see the starters very long in this one. This one's going to be about seeing where the reserves are in their development. But yeah, I guess St. Francis is 2-9, but their 2 wins are over non-D1 programs. So apparently they are just awful.
Yeah, and look, sometimes you have that game. JU.
Oh, Florida should make no apologies.
Right.
They've played one of the hardest schedules in the country.
JU has had to play the team Trinity College here of Jacksonville, which is a good school, but shouldn't be playing JU. And I think they beat them 122-40 something, So I think those games happen sometimes. But anyway, it is interesting to see. Here's the bad thing: I think today's game is on SEC Network. It's not on Plus. I think the network's actually televising.
Yeah, it's an early. It's 6:30.
I think it's on Network. It's not on the Plus. It's not the Plus.
Well, it makes sense because it's because they wanted to have the women's basketball team, I think, get a crowd, so they're having the men's game first and hoping people stay. So it's a 6:30 start. So I would imagine there aren't a lot of other activities in the SEC going on at 6:30.
And so it's on.
So it makes sense. So it's on. So the nation gets to see it.
The nation gets to see it. All right. So we got a whole lot of stuff we're going to talk about. We kind of talked about all of it for you, with you. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, again, the Sharon Moore story is just so odd, so bizarre to me. What is stalking and breaking and entering, and what does he face, and what are his chances of doing time? The whole bit. Brett does such a great job breaking that down for us. So after the break, we have Sports and Courts. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL's running game takes a giant step forward.
Well, Fred Taylor is the whole package.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
It's December. You need cash. You also need a new Kia Fast. At Kia on Atlantic, you can get both because it's our year-end cash bash. And during the Kia Season of New Tradition sales event, make no payments for up to 6 months or take advantage of 0% APR. Hurry and get to the year-end cash bash. Online at KiaOnAtlantic.com. Kia on Atlantic, your coastal Kia connection. For complete details, call 904-250-0587.
I'm Holt Harrell. I was talking to someone the other day and they were shocked that some lawyers get more from a case than their own client. After paying bills and costs, if we are supposed to get more than a client, we won't. That's the Harrell and Harrell promise. When we say that we treat our clients like family, we mean it. If you've been in an accident, call us today. 251-1111. Harrell and Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
December 17th, 1991, the Cleveland Cavaliers throttled the Miami Heat 148-80. The 68-point margin was the most lopsided game in NBA history.
Running a small business is tough, so the Florida Small Business Development Center at UNF provides a free business checkup, a personalized analysis that helps you boost profits, your online presence, and increase your company's value. No cost, no strings attached. It's guidance from experts who understand what it takes to succeed in business. Whether you're just starting out or ready to expand, it's time to act. Complete a request for consulting at unf.edu/SBDC.
Hey folks, it's Frank Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber, and she's been telling you how much weight she's dropped with Awaken 180. It's hard to believe. Even in football season, even when she hangs out with her friends, and even when she tailgates and does all that stuff, she's still losing weight. You can even drink alcohol. Can you believe that? Well, Awaken 180 shows you how to swap calories, not flavor. You have to be disciplined, but they make it easy. Amber and I talk about this all the time. She can't believe how easy it is, and she's so excited about it. But what I will tell you is it's really working. I see how excited she is. I see the look on her face. I see how her self-esteem has changed and her confidence. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened with my daughter, and it means that much to me. Now, Awaken 180 programs are reimbursable with your HSA or FSA, and those HSA dollars expire December 31st. Don't leave money on the table. Call Awaken 180 today and kickstart your transformation before the new year. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
The holidays are here, and before you hit the road, make sure your car is ready. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, you'll get an expert oil change in 15 minutes with no appointment, and you never leave your car. Stop by any of their convenient Jacksonville locations and let the pros get you holiday travel ready. With a 4.7 national customer rating and ranked #1 quick lube in America by Forbes, Valvoline gives you quick, trusted service when it matters most. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Drive in today and travel with confidence this holiday season.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Now time for Sports in Courts, legal issues in the sports world with Brett Hastings from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Hit back with Hastings.
All right, our friend Brett Hastings is here. from the Hastings Injury Law Firm. Good to see you. How are you, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing great. And since we didn't do this last week, I really just got to say thank you. Every year, I tell you, I get nervous before the toy drive. I think we ended up with more toys than ever. People are so good, but these listeners are really good. And in a week where they showed up for the J Fun and then came out and showed up that way was phenomenal. This last Saturday, the 13th, they had the shopping party over there. As I told you, I was still up in Maine before I could come back, but it was a real success. And so just from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank all the listeners and everybody that participated. It really mattered, and there are a lot of really happy kids right now.
And I appreciate you saying that, and I will ditto your thanks to our listeners who are so good there, and a tip of the cap to you as well, Brett, for that being so important to you, affecting our kids in our area, being as important as it is to you. And I will tell you, there's a lot of good charities in town. Many of us are involved in various charities. The whole Big Brothers and Big Sisters operation, Sarah Alford's a star, isn't she?
Absolutely phenomenal.
Sarah, you are a star. Just how the way she leans into it, she comes on with us, and
phenomenal.
Yeah, she really is phenomenal. So it's a joy just to be around her. Her positive spirit, how much that initiative means to her. I mean that very sincerely.
100%. I mean that's not a small organization, and she's involved in everything. Just the text that she has with me and everybody else. I wonder if she's cloned. I don't know how she can kind of get all of it done, but it's an inspiration.
Yeah, I totally agree. I want to get to this now. That's the good stuff. Now the not so good stuff.
Right.
I want to get to the Sharon Moore stuff. I can't. I told Hayes when it happened. I've never seen. I can't remember a case where a head coach at a blue blood where this kind of a disaster happened. The best I understand it is he was having an affair with this woman. They denied it for a while. There was no evidence that they were lying, so they carried on. She wanted to end it. He didn't. For that reason, he stalked her. She went to the authorities. They fired him. He lost his mind and went to her place, broke in, and threatened to kill himself. Now that's framed up as best I know it.
Right.
Stalking, breaking and entering. What are the charges, and what does it all mean?
Right. Yes, there's stalking, and then they have a home invasion charge. Okay.
And that's what Hayes was saying.
Right. And typically, and I think Hayes was spot on. There they have a first, a second, and a third degree. They charged him with the third degree home invasion. But here's kind of how it breaks out. You could be sentenced up to 5 years. But what happens is the home invasion means that you entered without someone's consent, right? And what was it that you were going to do once you got inside? So we hear about home invasion robbery, right? I mean, that's like a capital offense, and in most places would be something that is 15 years and potentially all the way to life. Here in Florida, if you use a gun, you have 10, 20 life, right? So those are sort of, set sentences that you have to get. So if you went in and had an armed robbery home invasion, that'd be a really, really significant case. Here, it appears, and as you know, we have the media reports. I haven't been able to see all of the facts, from, the documents, but it's clear from what we can read in the documents that he got terminated, went over there, went inside. It doesn't appear from what we know right now, right, that he was physically breaking to go in.
Right.
But there was a 911 call before it. And the 911 call says that this person has been repeatedly stalking, coming over here all the time and won't stop. And so, that's one thing with the charging. So they charged him with the lowest felony that you can. And that appears to be because it didn't appear that he was going to go in and try to commit a crime, hurt her, harm her, but wanted to confront her. Like, hey, I just lost the head coaching job at the University of Michigan because of whatever she had said, informed them of.
So what happens? What does stalking carry?
Right. So the way these are charged, this stalking charge was a misdemeanor stalking charge, so it's up to a year. The home invasion charge is a felony charge, where they said that he was going to commit a misdemeanor potentially within, that can carry up to 5 years. So 5 years would be as it's currently charged, right? And their, initial charges can change, right? Like you can escalate charges, you can bring charges down or what have you. But right now he's looking at, up to 5 years. The biggest thing is this is also obviously these allegations would be the same allegations that would be litigated in a for-cause termination, under the civil contract.
Does it from his defense, and obviously this is a tough case, I would assume for his attorneys, is there anything to the door being unlocked that he didn't actually have to physically? Could you make an argument that this is somebody that obviously has a relationship with, and he's accustomed to just walking into the house?
Yeah, I think you could make that argument. Ultimately, it'd probably have to be determined by a jury, because the judge would say, hey, they've already done you a favor, we believe, in the way that they've charged this at the lowest level, for the felony. At the end of the day, I don't know how he's going to beat these stalking charges if there are, in fact, all kinds of text messages that are consistent with this, here the victim is going to have to be able to show, look, I've said no, leave me alone, get away. We don't know enough about what that other evidence is as it relates to it. I think there are some potential defenses to the home invasion, right, and the way it's charged. But I think it's going to come down to the stalking. The stalking, it is radically different from state to state. Some embrace that you can stalk somebody digitally. Some other places almost want to see you be readily apparent, to act, or to do something else. But ultimately, you just have to show a pattern of threatening conduct, right? And so usually you're going to need to see 2-3 instances or more. It's very often that when stalking charges are successfully prosecuted, I mean, it's not 2 or 3, it's 50, 60, 70, different attempts. And the other thing where we see stalking a lot is not even necessarily a criminal charge, but it's when people seek to go get injunctions now, right?
Yeah.
And so, we've always heard about domestic violence injunctions, right? You can also be charged for a domestic battery. But a lot of the litigation that you see that revolves around stalking now is in that context, where people, go to the court and get a court order. And so it says, hey, look, if I text you, that's not a crime. But once there's an injunction in place, it is, right? Because there's been a court order, you've been brought into court, you've been able to show that you've been provided notice, and there's been an order issued by a judge that says, don't do any of these things. So most of the stalking law, comes from there, but it's essentially the same. The biggest thing is when you have to prove it in a criminal context, we're no longer at more likely than not or a preponderance of the evidence, which is like 51%. That's the civil standard. You have to go and prove it beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. And for the listeners, that's more like 95, 96%. So, it's tougher to prove it there. Clearly, I think she could get an injunction in this context just based, and this is relying on what the media reports are. It seems like if the evidence, as we understand it now, supports that, that you probably be good on the misdemeanor stalking charges, and then we'll see how it pans out on the felony. What I did think was interesting is the bond was only at $25,000. To me, that's an indicator from the judge that he doesn't believe that he's a threat to cause physical harm to her, but was we're going to send a message enough to stay away from the victim.
Given all of that, you've been in every corner of the law in your career. Where is this going to end? A slap on the wrist for him? Some sort of a probation? What's the final resolution in your mind?
What we see a lot of times, especially if somebody hasn't had any prior criminal record, that you're going to go through some type of domestic violence training. Right. They have a domestic violence batters intervention project that almost, in these injunction type cases and battery cases here, it's like a 20-week program, those types of things that go out and really try to get people to understand why this conduct is so harmful, to others. I think they're probably going to want to see him plead to something, and that could be a withhold of adjudication, so he doesn't have a criminal conviction over it, but would have a probation that hangs over him, and if he doesn't complete the probation, then he could end up being adjudicated. But that would only assume that there's really pretty compelling evidence that there wasn't any other intent to do something inside the house. If there's some evidence, right, and we don't know about it yet, that you were going to do something inside that house, that's when it comes out of, this type of, you're going to go on probation and you're going to go through these classes, and that could be where you would see some jail time.
Could she sue Michigan, or because of the fact that she lied about the validity of the relationship, would that pretty much doom her trying to get something out of the University of Michigan?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for her to bring it. The only potential recourse, I think, would be if she then informed Michigan and Michigan failed to take appropriate actions to sort of protect her in the workplace or to subject her, to anything else. That would be it. At this point, those are just assumptions. We don't know, but if there was going to be an angle for her, that would be the angle.
Final question. Let's all do this. Hayes, you go first. What happens with Sharon Moore? Does he coach again?
No.
Never coach again? What about you?
I think he might be able to be a position coach or something somewhere else, but I think a lot of that would be predicated on whether or not publicly people find out that, he gets some type of disposition from this legally. Very often you don't hear anything else out about these people, and it puts them sort of in that light, and I think a lot of ADs would stay away from him.
All right, let me ask you this. I'm going to make you his attorney for a second, okay? You're Sharon Moore's attorney. Would your advice to him be, because I think mine would be, but I'm not an attorney, my advice to him would be tell this story. Say, listen, I was a loyal husband until I met this person. I regret the years I did this. I kind of became unglued. That's not who I am. I mean, tell the story to the whoever. And maybe people say, too bad, too sad, I'm not going to hire you. But if you were his attorney, wouldn't that be the play now? To say, listen, that's not who I am. I did it, blah, blah, blah. To come clean?
Yes and no. I think that would be a very smart strategy. I'd want to know all of the facts as it relates to it, right?
Good point. Assuming that's the case.
Right,
You're right.
But I'm just saying, so, and you got to sit down with the client. What's your goal, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to have the strongest defense possible in this case, or do you want to figure out how you could coach again in college football, right?
Yeah.
And they're necessarily not immediately aligned right now.
Got it.
I would want to slow it down for a little bit so that I could get all of the facts and understand that. And once we'd have that, then make a call strategically. I would talk to the prosecutor. I'd understand about the judge's, sentencing,
Good point.
History. But once I knew those things and I felt like, okay, this isn't something that we are going to look at a long jail time, and I know all of the facts, right, then that might be something potentially that you could put it out there. But I would be very, what would need to happen is it'd be about accepting responsibility, in no way, shape, or form pointing anything, any type of blame, towards this young lady, the victim, or whatever, to kind of put him in the best light possible.
That's why you're an attorney and we're just radio guys, because your answer was right. Let's learn more about it. Let's learn more about what the truth is, and let's slow down and then form the strategy. My first thought was come clean and say, listen, I blew it. That was terrible. But you said maybe that's not the case.
Right. I heard somebody.
Maybe he's done it 4 times for all we know.
I heard somebody say the other day and goes, Twitter isn't the gospel,
No.
right? And so there's so much information that comes out quick, and this was such a salacious thing that, now you kind of have seen things calm down, and I think we have some characterization of the facts. But the reality is the facts that are in the pleadings, the affidavits, and what has come from law enforcement, none of us know yet.
By the way, you've been looking at my notes, because part of our show today is going to be Twitter not being the gospel, but people believing that it is. Right. I'm going to talk about that today. Great work as always, Brett. We appreciate it.
See ya.
When we come back, let's talk some Jaguars football, including you hearing from the Jaguars tight end, who's such a good player. That's coming up. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frangie here. Nimnik Buick GMC wishes you and your family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And for the holidays, Nimnik Buick GMC has prices that are better than ever. If you're looking for a dealership that actually makes car buying easy, well, at Nimnik, you'll find unbeatable holiday savings, huge selection of Buicks and GMCs, plus flexible financing that fits your budget. Whether you're looking for a new SUV, work-ready truck, or certified pre-owned, they've got you covered. So don't wait. Start shopping at NimnikBuickGMC.com or visit the showroom off Phillips Highway today. GMC, we are professional grade.
Truth Teller here, and I've solved all of your holiday problems and stress. A gift card from the Blue Crab Crab House. Get this, you buy a $50 gift card, and you get an additional $15 card for free. It's that simple, and as always at the Blue Crab Crab House, the best crabs in Jacksonville, oysters and seafood, period. Blue Crab Crab House, open every day except for Monday, off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Attention skilled electricians, are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just a job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, Hicken here. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. Prize Picks. And boy, talk about all the great features. Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. Hey, my fantasy football season's cooked, but with Prize Picks, we don't have to wait until next year's draft. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week. Pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections every week. No draft required. Here's what you do. Download that Prize Picks app today. It's so easy. Use code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineup after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code 1010XL. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Save some money this holiday season and buy pre-owned. That's right, pre-owned. Pre-owned guns, guitars, surfboards, tools, and especially jewelry. Buy big, save bigger at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
It's the Jaguars' final home game of the 2025 regular season, and you don't want to miss it. Join us for our fan appreciation game as the Jaguars face off against the Tennessee Titans in a can't-miss division matchup. It's your chance to cheer on the team as they take the field in their Prowler throwbacks for one last time this season. Secure your seats now and be a part of the action. Go to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
We appreciate our friends from Coyle & Sons. They probably did fence it. They've done it a long time around here. 904-356-4821, the number to call. You can log on and find out more about that terrific operation at CoyleJax.com. That's COYLE, JaxJax.com. They do a terrific job. Overhead doors, bathroom partitions, a lot of stuff like that. And, of course, the best fences, whether it's commercial or residential, my friends from Coyle & Sons. They do a wonderful job, and we're encouraging you. If you need fencing, they're the folks to go to. I got a thought about Trevor Lawrence I'm going to get to in a minute, but let's start with his tight end. What makes Brenton Strange such a player, such a complete player in your mind? Why are people so high on this guy?
I think it's his ability to finish plays. He's a good player seconds 1 through 4.5. I think he really becomes an elite player in seconds 4.5 through 6. If the standard play is about 6 seconds long, it's I think how Brenton Strange finishes plays that separates him, and that is his unique ability. He's good, all around anyway. But you factor in his maniacal finish consistently to each play is what I think is really separating him as an elite talent.
Yeah, he is a very physical player. Remember now, he missed a month of the season. He's still third on the team in catches with 32 catches. He has 395 yards. He has a touchdown to his credit. He's a very physical, and he's a great blocker, to your point about finishing. He's a big he's a very complete tight end. He's not just a move tight end who catches passes. He's not a big physical blocker that you got to take out on third down. He's a very complete tight end, and the Jags are lucky to have him. Earlier today, Hayes Carlyon caught up with Jaguars tight end Brenton Strange.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars tight end Brenton Strange here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Great to see you, too. I'm doing great.
That was so cool seeing you at Firehouse Subs a couple weeks ago. What was that like mixing up with the fans?
It's always good to get out in Jacksonville and just interact with the fans and the community. They're a big part of this as well. So their support means everything to me and the team. So it's good to be able to go back out there and just enjoy some time with them.
Are you picking up on that you're becoming one of the more popular players on the team in the city?
I want to say 2 weeks ago against the Colts, I saw a couple of signs out there in the stands. And, man, that just makes me so happy because, I give a lot to this, but a reason is just because, you want to obviously just make the city proud, and make the organization proud and everybody around you. So I do it for them as well. So it's a good feeling for sure.
How exciting is Sunday's matchup as a young player seeing this franchise, take the steps it's taking?
I mean, it's very exciting, but at the end of the day, it's just the next one for us. That's my mentality, and I feel like that's the mentality with the other guys coming in. Obviously, it's a big game. We know that they're at the top of the AFC and as well as we are, but it's just the next game, and that's the mentality I'm going to take going into it.
They obviously get a lot of credit for how well they get after the quarterback, and I want to ask you about that. But what stood out to me is they're second in the NFL run defense-wise, doing a lot of good things in terms of stopping the run. What stands out to you, Brenton, when you watch how Denver plays the run?
I think that they're a physical team, and they want to be physical, and we're just going to have to come out and we're going to have to play our brand of football, and everything else is going to take care of itself, They're a great defense, and they have good players at all three levels of the defense, so it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be a fun game to play in.
Is this a matchup that you kind of take, not personally maybe too strong, but a good challenge in the sense that they do a good job stopping the run? They do have 58 sacks, so at your position where you're able to do everything so well, it's kind of a challenge on a lot of fronts. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I said, I think they're a great team, and I think that they have great players, but I'm never really worried about what anybody else has going on the other side of the ball. I know it's all about what I do and how I prepare and how I take my steps in the game and how I approach my work. So that's kind of my mentality throughout everything, and I keep that for each game.
It's unfortunate about Bayshaw's injury, but it gives LaQuint, probably a chance at a greater role. What have you seen out of LaQuint Allen as a rookie?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good player, and he does a lot of the dirty work, a lot of the unseen work that, I once had. I once had all that unseen work. So I know how valuable he is to our team and what he does for our team. So I'm excited to see him get extra reps. He comes out here, and he's one of the hardest workers on the team and just goes hard every single day. So you're always happy for a guy that gets that opportunity, and he's going to get to show what he can do.
Trevor Lawrence obviously had a historical performance Sunday in the win over the Jets. What have you seen out of Trevor's game in the last month, Brenton?
Trevor just being Trevor, I think that's the most important thing is he's just going out there and just playing free and being himself, We all know how good Trevor is and what he can do each week and the leader that he is for this team. So I'm just excited and I'm happy for him that, that we're able to go out there and make plays for him and he's making plays for us as well, So Trevor's just being himself and I'm excited because Trevor's only going to keep getting better and better each week and you guys have seen it so far. So super excited.
Have you ever had any experience playing out in Denver?
I haven't, I hear that, growing up, you see the guys I feel like they used to have a lot of Thanksgiving games, and you see those guys with the oxygen mask and stuff like that, and I feel like every time I was at my grandma's house, I was just telling her a couple weeks ago that every time I was over there, Denver was playing, so it's pretty exciting to be able to go out there. I know that they have a great fan base, and I'm just excited to go play,
What elements of your game are you really excited about right now, Brendan?
I'm excited about everything, man. I pride myself on being a versatile player. I pride myself on being able to do whatever the team asks me to do. So I'm excited to go out there and just compete. I'm a competitor, and at the end of the day, I like to win everything that I do. So whether that's in the pass game, in the run game, pass protecting, whatever it is, I just like to win. So that's my mentality.
Awesome. Brenton Strange, really appreciate. Yeah, I appreciate Brenton's time today, and I think he's going to be here for a long time playing at a really high level for the Jaguars.
Yeah, he's a very physical player. He's a terrific player, and I agree with you. There's a foundation of guys, Hayes. There's a core now, and he's a really, really, really big part of that core, no question
He
about it.
turns 25 in 10 days, so getting ready to turn 25. So you're talking about a guy that, next year is this year 25 season, 26, 27, 28, 29. I mean, you're talking about Brenton Strange could be playing at a high level for the Jaguars 8-9 more years.
No question about it, and that's a good thing. We'll take a break. When we come back, we got headlines. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Saddle up your horses. The Jaguars ride to the Rockies, ready to rope the Broncos at Mile High. Can the Jags break the Bronx? Saddle up and find out. It's Duval attitude versus Denver altitude. Jaguars Broncos, Sunday at 1 on the home of the Jaguars. 1010 XL.
This is Richard Miller with your Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles Update. Showtime is proud to be a participating store again for the Topps MVP buyback. Bring in your eligible 2025 Topps Chrome cards of Ohtani and Judge for same-day store credit. Topps MVP buyback at Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles. Update your collection.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
What does Johnny O know best? O knows Jacksonville football.
Okay, say, oh my.
Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft on 1010 XL.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
In Northeast Florida, power outages are unavoidable, but losing comfort, security, and peace of mind doesn't have to be. With a Generac home standby generator from American Electrical Contractors, your power comes back on automatically the moment an outage begins. As Jacksonville's leading and one of the longest-running Generac dealers, American Electrical Contracting has the experience you deserve. Be prepared. Protect your home and family. Protect your business. Generac standby generators from American Electrical Contractors. Call 737-7770 or online at american-electrical.com.
Hey Jacksonville, it's Lacey, your bar manager here at Fourscore Golf Tavern. We're officially kicking off the holiday season, and both of our locations, San Marco and Gate Parkway, are fully festive and ready for you to enjoy. Make sure you stop by and check out our holiday cocktail menu, lunch, and dinner specials. Happy hour is all day, every Tuesday. The fun continues with 10 top-of-the-line simulators between both locations, offering multiple games in almost every sport you can think of. So gather your group, get in the spirit, and come celebrate at Fourscore, the place to be in Jacksonville for holiday fun.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. This is Frangie for the farm in Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville in Folkston. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. The amenities include a 2,300-acre hunting lease. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
This holiday season, sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers is a classy move no matter who it's for. This is Dylan Denmark. Kuhn Flowers is the most respected name in the floral business. Find out why when you go to kuhnflowers.com and order an arrangement today.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, let's start with Jaguars at Broncos. Trevor Lawrence picked up a nice award today. He received AFC Player of the Week honors, the fourth such career honor for Trevor Lawrence, and pretty easy call. Historical game in the victory against the Jets.
How could he not have won it? Is the question. I'm gonna top of the hour. I got a Trevor topic, so I'll expound on it then. But he's played at a really high level. He's playing free and easy. I think I told you this. I thought the Arizona game was the turning point for him, because he made some very bad plays early in the game, but he didn't flinch. Then he made some very good plays to come back and win the game, and I love how he's playing. I really do. Boy, he's playing at a great level.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Jaguars will certainly face a massive challenge Sunday at Mile High in front of that great road crowd. It's going to be tough with the snap, and the Broncos have been excellent getting after the quarterback. 58 sacks on the season for Denver. They are second in the NFL in terms of sack percentage, so doing an outstanding job. Liam Cohen met with reporters earlier today and talked about the challenge of that Broncos pass rush.
Yeah, very talented group. Multiple, both guys on the edge can go. You know, both guys, Cooper and Benito. Benito does a great job jumping the snap count, hearing the snap count. You can tell he studies it. Obviously a benefit for them being at home for that standpoint, and he's got a quick get off. Inside, Allen does a great job rushing at the three technique or at the guard position, and I've had a lot of respect for him for a long time. He's a Northeast dude that went to BC, got a lot of respect for him, and schematically they do a nice job of, not rushing for all that much. It's usually five-man rush, which you got a lot of one-on-ones out there, and great opportunities for our guys to continue to take steps in the right direction and take it personally to protect the quarterback, especially in a hostile environment.
It's a heavyweight fight, Hayes. This is one of the best defenses in the league that really get after the passer against an offense that's flying right now. Two confident teams, two teams that have been winning, two teams that are going to be in the playoffs. It's a heavyweight fight. I mean, that's really how I see this, and I can't wait for it.
Let's get to around the NFL. We'll start in Miami. The Dolphins have benched quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. The Dolphins will start Quinn Ewers, the late-round draft pick out of Texas. What'd you think of the decision? What becomes of Tua, and what do you think about Ewers? Can he get it done?
It shocked me. When I think about it, it shouldn't have, but they're out now. The time to make a move like this is when you're out of it. I think Quinn Ewers is okay. I don't think he's great. I think he's average. I think all three quarterbacks on their roster will ultimately be journeymen. I don't think there's a starter on the roster. I was wrong about Zach Wilson. I thought he'd be pretty good. He's not. I was never high on Tua as a pro prospect. He's not. And I think Ewers is just okay. So I think the Dolphins, the same team that produced Bob Greasy and Dan Marino once upon a time, have got to find a quarterback.
Yeah, it's been a while for the Dolphins when it comes to that position. That is for sure. Let's get it to some NFL draft news. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love has decided to enter the draft. No surprise, but Love considered to be one of the safest picks in this coming draft. Could be a top 10 pick, which, as we know, is rare for a running back these days.
Good player. He's a good player. I don't know that he's as good as the Boise guy was last year, but I think he's a good player. I think he is a safe pick. That's a good way to describe him. He's physical. He's today's NFL running back. He's a 2-down back. I don't think he's a 3-down back. He's good at running between the tackles. He's played a lot of football against a lot of good teams, and he'll be a very good pro. I don't know if he'll be a great pro, but he's a very good pro. I think he'll be a good pro.
Let's get to college football. Aaron Philo has officially announced his intentions to enter the portal. He sent out a message on social media today thanking Georgia Tech for his time there. Is it a done deal in your opinion? Is he the next Florida Gators quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know that anything's a done deal until they sign with the team, which they can do after January. But yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. They, by all accounts, you don't get the impression the Florida people were overly excited about keeping Lagway. That generally means they had somebody in mind. Buster Faulkner coached this guy, recruited him, really liked him. He couldn't play because he was behind Haynes King, who's a tough, hard-nosed guy that earned his stripes. But I think Philo might be really good. I think I love his tape. I told you that yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about done deal, but I think we'd all be very surprised now if he doesn't wind up in Gainesville. My guess is he's going to have to compete with Tramel Jones for the job. Wouldn't be shocked if they brought in another guy. But yeah, I would be shocked if he's not a Florida quarterback next year. We'll see whether or not he's the Florida quarterback. Now, my gut is he's going to be really good and he's going to be the Florida quarterback. Okay, that's my gut. But, yeah, I would imagine he's headed to Gainesville.
Let's get to college basketball. The Gators at home tonight against St. Francis. That game actually starts in about an hour and 40 minutes. St. Francis, 2-9, both wins over non-D1 schools. Maybe one of the worst teams to ever play in the O-Dome. Florida, a 44.5-point favorite tonight.
Gators going to have to bring the heat.
Yeah, so, I mean, in a game like this, how do you want to see Todd Golden play it?
Well, I'll say this. Joking, I was going to make a joke, but joking aside, assuming St. Francis is really terrible and it's like playing the Long Island team in football, assuming that's what it's like and you're up 31-7 with 12 minutes left in the half. If it's that kind of a game, I think you got to go find shooting. And so this is an opportunity, whether it's Alex Lloyd or Isaiah Brown or I think someone's got to get some shots up. Florida has got look, they got a lot of good players. It's very clear they're not a very good shooting team. So some of these, one or two of these young players have to at least be a bit of a hired gun off the bench. I can't imagine a better game than this one to see some of those guys. Now, they have two more games they're going to win after this, too, all right? But I can't imagine that this isn't a good opportunity. So I would say starters out mid-first half, and then a lot of those young shooters, and I'd let them shoot it, buddy. I would let them fire. I'm not worried about the young backups in big guys. I'm not worried about the interior. I think they've got their starting guards. I think those are the two starting guards. I wish Flan shot it a little better. But I think you need to find a shooter among some of those young guys. That's what I think.
We were talking about Florida State looking pretty good early on, but boy, the Seminoles have really started to struggle. Florida State lost last night to Dayton 97-69. Florida State now 5-6 overall.
And they're not good. I mean, Dayton just put 97 on them, or 96 on them. UMass put 100 on them. So what's happened with Luke Lauck's team is, you know how he wants to play. Shoot it fast, come down. He wants to be the old Loyola Marymount. And I was impressed with that early on. They played Florida close for a while. They played some other teams close. I said it's clear when you play that fast, it's hard to defend. They defend nobody. I mean, think about this now. Dayton scored 96. UMass went to Tallahassee and scored 100. 100. It was UMass. So I don't know a lot about their personnel, but clearly it's a way bigger rebuild. And listen, when you bring in a coach who's never been a head coach before, there's a learning curve for him too. So I'm surprised that it could be a real tough year for the Noles.
Let's get it to the NBA. The Knicks win something called the NBA Cup last night, beating the Spurs 124-113. What does this mean?
I have no idea. I wrote down in my notes, does anybody know what the NBA Cup is? I have no idea what the Cup is.
What does the NBA Cup
And for the record,
what do the Knicks get for winning this besides some cash?
I think money.
Yeah.
I think all the players get I don't know if it's $1 million or so. It's a lot.
I don't know what the NBA Cup is. I wouldn't know what the glass is. I wouldn't know what the dish is. I wouldn't know what I wouldn't know. I have no idea. I honestly can definitively tell you I have no idea what the NBA Cup is.
Well, congratulations to the Knicks because you have hoisted the NBA Cup or whatever that is.
Do they have another cup? Or
I don't think so. I think this is the only cup, but maybe there's maybe there's a mug.
I have no idea.
Later in the season.
I have no idea.
Or a thermos.
Yeah.
Let's get into college baseball. Kevin O'Sullivan has returned to the Gators program following a 2-month leave of absence.
Yes, and I like Sully, and I know Sully, and he's been a great baseball coach there. I hope it works out well. He has a good team. There's a lot of portal guys. Sully's had a lot of stuff.
What kind of fake-ass punishment is that?
Yeah.
You go on a leave of absence when the season's not going?
Well, the leave of absence wasn't a punishment. The punishment was the suspension for the first 3 games.
Okay.
He had some personal.
So he's still suspended for the first 3
correct.
games of the season.
The suspension for the first 3 games holds. This had nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay.
This had to do with his personal life, but then there was a story in the Alligator that said he was accused of stuff by his oldest child. There were no,
and he got cleared of all that.
He got cleared. The authorities found there was nothing to it, but there's been a lot of stuff with Sully, and I'm rooting. I'm a big Gator baseball fan, and I hope it works out okay. He's been there a long time. This will be his 19th year there. I'm rooting for him. It's bothersome that there's been a lot of stuff. I'm not saying they should get rid of him or he should leave,
right?
But it's disingenuous or naive to suggest there hasn't been a lot of stuff that most coaches don't go through.
Convicted? No. Never convicted.
Been convicted of a felony? Convicted? No, never convicted.
Never convicted. Let's get you out on today's musical note of the day. Yes, that's from Stripes.
By the way, the great Harold Ramis.
And if you haven't seen Stripes, put it at the top of your list.
And God bless Harold Ramis, who authored that line. By the way.
So fantastic.
Convicted? Never convicted.
Never convicted. This week, we're going to highlight some of the best songs from 1985 that have celebrated a 40th anniversary this year. And today's choice from Huey Lewis and the News, this is Power of Love from the Back to the Future soundtrack.
Let me tell you what, you get on a Wednesday afternoon on the First Coast, you give me Huey Lewis and the News, it's a pretty good day is what that is.
That's right.
Let's talk Trevor Lawrence after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Nimnik Chevrolet wishes you and your family a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And they hope your holiday season is just terrific. And oh, by the way, the holidays are in full swing at Nimnik Chevrolet. Right now, save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0% on models including Silverado, Equinox, and Trailblazer during the Red Tag Sales event. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnik Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. With the extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck or SUV at Nimnik. And remember, Nimnik will always give you top dollar for your trade. Want an even better deal? Ask about those terrific demo models for deeper discount. Shop online 24/7 at nimnikchevy.com or visit the dealership conveniently located at the corner of Park and Cassett. So who's got more new vehicles at the absolute best prices? Nobody but Nimnik. Head to Nimnik today. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Get in the huddle with 1010XL's QB.
All right, guys, let's make a play for 1010XL.
David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
I'm Julie Harrell. I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here.
And nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
He talks, he listens, he tells stories only a coach could know.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the quarterback whisperer, tuned up by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet. Friday mornings on 1010XL.
Need your weekly fix for Mexican street food? One Night Taco Stand has Jacksonville covered. Mondays, any burrito, just $7.99 with a soft drink purchase. On Taco Tuesday, enjoy any taco for just $3.49. And on Wednesdays, kids 12 and under eat for just $2. Perfect for the whole family. Find One Night Taco Stand in Mandarin, Orange Park, and Southside at Bay Meadows.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Morgan Conley Roofing isn't just repairing roofs. He's building a legacy for generations to come. Born here, built here, staying here. MorganConleyRoofing.org. License number CCC 1333544.
Ready for huge holiday savings? It's the Expert Automotive Giving Garage. This Christmas, they're driven to give back. Bring in any new wrap toy donation and get $50 off any service. That's $50 off repairs, diagnostics, or maintenance just for helping a child. Plus, they're giving you 50% off your oil change. $50 off any service with a toy and 50% off oil changes. The Giving Garage at Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
Give a unique gift this holiday season with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Make your own product in the store with over 90 fragrances at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jacks Beach.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Superior Fireworks. Jaguars running back Vashel Tootin will be undergoing surgery on his finger after suffering an injury during last week's game over the Jets. Tootin is expected to miss some time but could be back on the field for the playoffs. Travis Etienne will continue to see a heavy workload as he's currently 10th in the NFL in rushing yards with 949. It's 63 degrees at 5 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. 10-10-10-10.
Take.
The 10-10 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the duckduckrooter.com. Trevor Lawrence just had the best game of his career. Quite frankly, it would have been the best game of a lot of players' careers. You know by now the numbers. 300 yards plus passing, 5 touchdown passes, 50 yards plus rushing, 1 rushing touchdown. First player in the history of the National Football League to ever do all 4 of those things in the same game. An easy choice this week for the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Here's my question. What if the light now is on? What if Trevor Lawrence, because I think there's a chance this has happened, what if all that talk about generational and first overall pick and nobody like him, what if now it comes to fruition? Because I think we're close. I think we're really close. He had some bad moments earlier in this year. I told you before I thought the Arizona game was the turning point because he played badly, had 4 bad turnovers, never flinched, kept letting it rip, and came back and won the game for them. And look, the game was close because he played badly. They won the game because he played well. He came back and won the game for him, that in a long field goal. I think he's on the cusp of it. So that's the take, is that I think Trevor Lawrence is on the cusp of that elite level that we've all talked about. Doesn't mean he won't make mistakes again. Doesn't mean there's not going to be an interception or a fumble here and there. But I think he's on that cusp. That's the take. Now the follow-up question to the take. What if that what if that has happened now? What if now in year 5, with a coach that really connects with a receiving core that I think is going to be here for a while, with an offensive line that is playing lights out, including Cole Van Lannon, who came out of nowhere to be one of the better left tackles you'll ever see, at least for now. What if that's where he is? Remember this. As good as the Bills have been over their history, including the 4 Super Bowl appearances with Jim Kelly and company, they were down for a long time. The Bills team that came in here in 17 that the Jags beat in that first playoff game, Yeah, they were in the playoffs, but they weren't a very good team. Tyrod Taylor was the quarterback. They were just okay. They didn't get great again, and they're great again until Josh Allen came and then emerged. He wasn't good out of the gate. The Chiefs were great with Len Dawson and back in the day and Hank Stram and matriculating the ball down the field. But then they were ordinary for a long time until Patrick Mahomes came along. The Bengals found their way in a Super Bowl somehow, some way. First time since Boomer Esiason's been there because Joe Burrow came along. As good as the Ravens were, including a Super Bowl team with Trent Dilfer playing, they didn't become elite until Lamar Jackson came along. That's just the way the league is. That's where the sport is today. What if now it's happened for Trevor Lawrence? What if all of a sudden he's on his way to being an elite quarterback? What if you look up in this time next year and people are calling him one of the 6 or 7 best in the league? What if they're mentioning him in that same breath that they mentioned Mahomes and Burrow and Josh Allen and all the rest? What if then? Can you imagine what the Jaguars will become in this next stretch of years leading right up to that beautiful new stadium? This stretch we had when the Jaguars first started, years 2 through 5, which were so magnificent, and frankly, haven't been that since then. I think we could be on the cusp of that because of the way 16's playing. I really believe that.
Yeah, you hope so, because what I would say is for this to be a blip, it's got to fizzle pretty quick. I mean, you don't normally see, he's played 3 great games in a row. You don't normally see that number get to like 5, 6, or 7 great games in a row, and the player's just not very good. Guys can play above their head for a little bit, but it usually wears off after about 3 weeks. Now, this is a very difficult test, so to expect him to go in and shred Denver is unrealistic, but he can certainly play well, and he can lead the team to a win. I think the most encouraging thing that I would say for Trevor Lawrence, and again, you know, we're not even a month removed from me wondering what's happened to his game. So, in being frustrated by the lack of elevation in his production. So, to his credit, he's hit it. If it continues, then it'll be a while before the Jaguars play December games that aren't meaningful in their history moving forward. And you would love nothing more than for this to be the start of something where, over the next 2 years, Trevor Lawrence can continue to build that. When you open the stadium of the future as the stadium of the present in 2028, he's one of the more bankable, reliable superstars in the NFL. Long way to go to get to that. But I will say it's encouraging that as we sit here now in the middle of December, the only quarterbacks in this league that have more touchdown passes than Trevor Lawrence are Matthew Stafford, who's an all-time great, Jared Goff, who's been outstanding now for 3 or 4 years and did well with the Rams before the trade, Dak Prescott, who has elite weapons around him, is a good player, and Josh Allen, who's the reigning MVP. That's it. Those are the only quarterbacks that have thrown for more touchdowns this year than Trevor Lawrence. Now, he is in a 5-way tie for 9th, but he's in there with Drake May, who people are saying the next big superstar. Jordan Love, who, a lot of people believe is on the rise, didn't play particularly well against Denver on Sunday. Bo Nix, who he'll see Sunday, the Broncos' second-year quarterback, and Justin Herbert, who got off to a magnificent start early, and people were talking about MVP maybe for Herbert until his line disintegrated on him. So, I mean, the point is you look at where Trevor Lawrence is in terms of the most important stat for a quarterback, which is touchdown passes, and he's tied for 5th right now in the league. So there's other things that, he'll need to clean up moving forward, and he has in these last 3 weeks. He's been great protecting the football. But it's a critical time, to your point, because blips can happen, but you don't see like a 6-7 week blip in terms of strong play. Like if that's what if Trevor Lawrence is able to play well Sunday, win or lose, but if he plays well, if he's not the reason that they lost, let's say, and certainly if they win, and then he goes and plays well at Indy, and then he plays well at home in the finale against Tennessee. Well, now you've got 6 games of him playing at a really high level, and with this coach, yeah, I wouldn't see that regressing. I think if anything, I mean, we talk about it a lot when Trevor Lawrence has time to reflect on his first season with Liam Cohen. Well, I can't imagine the stuff Liam Cohen's going to come up with his acumen for this, the stuff when he's got time to reflect on his first full year with Trevor Lawrence, the ideas that Liam Cohen is going to have going into year 2. So, yeah, I think I believe it is here to stay because I think they have found the right coach in Liam Cohen to have that perfect partner in Trevor Lawrence's development. There'll still be some, hiccups here and there, but that's, again, we talk about these guys are human beings. They're not robots, but you have to be incredibly encouraged with how Trevor Lawrence is playing right now.
Yeah, and I will tell you, I think sometimes, you know me, I've pounded the pulpit about this. Sometimes we overdo the traits. I want to see you good at football, not tall and big arm and fat. We overdo it. But if you're going to start producing, which he has, I will tell you, Hayes, all the goods are there. There's a reason this generational talk was there. He's 6'6". He's got a cannon arm. He throws a beautiful ball. He's extremely fast and athletic. He's smart. He's a really good teammate that everybody likes, and you never hear one negative word about him. He's never involved in any controversy. He's all that stuff's there. We just needed to see it from a productivity standpoint on the football field. We needed to see it start happening, and it looks like it is. I will tell you, I got a hunch, man. I got a hunch this special quarterback of the Jaguars is about to blow up, and last week was a great sign of it. 9 touchdowns, no picks in the last 3 games. That's special stuff.
His athleticism, I think, has been really impressive this season, how well he's used it, and how this staff has encouraged it. He's a problem. I mean, he's hard enough to stop as a passer, but I've been really impressed with his running ability, his running toughness, his savvy for finding the sticks. I mean, and those are just back-breaking plays for a defense when you've got everything covered and the quarterback escapes and picks up a chunk run, and he has done a fantastic. And that's another thing that I think, again, the more he's with Liam and playing games, in his system, he's going to get even more comfortable doing. But that's the element of his game that I think has really been impressive this year, is the running dynamic. I mean, he's run for what, like 4 or 5 touchdowns this year?
Well, 5 or 6. It's either 5 or 6. It's more than 4. Do you remember the run against Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl? When it was a 67-yard touchdown run. Do you remember the run? Right up the middle of the field?
It was one of the most impressive plays I think he made in college. He does have 6 rushing touchdowns this year.
He's outrunning Ohio State defensive players. That wasn't Bowling Green defensive players. It wasn't Akron or the University of Ohio or Ohio University, whatever the hell it's called. I can still remember it was the 2019 Fiesta Bowl when they blew him out. It was a 67-yard touchdown run. And I remember right up the middle of the field, and he's outrunning Ohio State players. Ohio State defensive players, here's what they do. They go to Ohio State and they go to the NFL. The Ohio State defensive players are like Ohio State wide receivers. They stop by Columbus for an hour or two, and then they head to the NFL. He was outrunning them all. I clearly remember the play. And that's what told us about the goods.
But then you never saw it as a Jaguar for so long.
Yeah, you certainly never saw it with any regularity. That's exactly. And now you are, to your point. So I'm just telling you, the keep an eye on 16, man, because if this stuff continues, look out. Good luck playing the Jaguars as the years go on. That's what I'll say. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get the weekend feeling all day Friday.
Best feeling in the world, isn't it?
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday.
You're going to love this.
Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day. Built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside, your locally owned commercial truck headquarters and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hey, it's Rick Ballou. We got a fresh shipment of hard-to-find ProMaster vans, perfect for Section 179. My buddy Tommy and his team are committed to the community and make the process simple. Upfits, delivery, everything handled right. If you need ProMaster vans or commercial trucks for your fleet, you need Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Westside.
Hi, it's Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Dailies locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Dailies Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Dailies Dash today.
Wingstop and 1010XL has the ultimate tailgate for you to win. Leon Searcy here, your lemon pepper guy. Go to 1010XL.com to register to win a 100-piece wing party complete with fries, veggie sticks, and dips.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hey folks, it's Frangie. Now, I've been telling you about my daughter Amber, and she's been telling you how much weight she's dropped with Awaken 180. It's hard to believe. Even in football season, even when she hangs out with her friends, and even when she tailgates and does all that stuff, she's still losing weight. You can even drink alcohol. Can you believe that? Well, Awaken 180 shows you how to swap calories, not flavor. You have to be disciplined, but they make it easy. Amber and I talk about this all the time. She can't believe how easy it is, and she's so excited about it. But what I will tell you is it's really working. I see how excited she is. I see the look on her face. I see how her self-esteem has changed and her confidence. It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened with my daughter, and it means that much to me. Now, Awaken 180 programs are reimbursable with your HSA or FSA, and those HSA dollars expire December 31st. Don't leave money on the table. Call Awaken 180 today and kickstart your transformation before the new year. Call 844-346-1800. That's 844-346-1800, or go to awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,800 five-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design get us organized for the holidays. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and so much more. Closets by Design will design a custom storage solution for all of your spaces. Nothing says happy holidays like a home that is peaceful and clutter-free. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before year-end and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
AA Automotive helps keep your car in dependable travel condition. Stop in today. They'll check the brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and AC to get you right back to your holiday plans. AA Automotive on Richard Street. Full service auto repair you can count on.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, here to share with you an actual client review.
Dude, these shirts are sick.
Check out the shirts and other sick promo items at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all. 1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to a Coyle & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
904-356-4821. This is the number if you want to get a fence, whether it's residential, commercial, nobody's better. Or go to Coyle Jacks, that's COYLE Jacks.com. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you as we wind down, get closer and closer to the holidays, closer and closer to Christmas. I guess we're in the holidays. So I like Twitter. I like social media. I'm not on. I go through Instagram. I get caught up in these. I go down the rabbit hole of these Instagram stuff because I just like music, and there's always different people playing music, and then someone will play something from 75 or 78. I don't do much Facebook or the rest of them. I have no idea what Snapchat is. Is that a thing? Do they still have that?
I don't know.
Does it go away? It goes away, right? JJ, you're probably a big Snapchat guy, right?
I'm not.
Okay, so
but it definitely exists.
So but I love Twitter because I get my information on Twitter or X now. I'm more amused than ever about, and maybe message boards used to be this, and now maybe X is. But is it me, and maybe because I followed all this Gator stuff with the coaching search and the portal and whatnot, maybe that's why I'm feeling this way. But do you feel like there's A, more misinformation than ever, and B, more people convinced the misinformation is true than ever before? Is it always been that way, or is it? Am I just caught up in the moment, or is there more of that now?
I would say you're probably feeling it more because of the Gator saga over the last 6 weeks. I mean, that Kiffin thing, that was a saga.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing dragged out for weeks. And
months,
weeks,
really.
Yeah.
And months. And then finally, obviously it didn't end up in the result that Florida fans wanted.
Right.
But then you still hire a new guy. And so, yeah, there's all sorts of information now about who is staying and who is going and who he's hiring. And so, yeah, I think I think particularly for Gator fans, it's been
and maybe that's why.
Well, were you guys message board guys?
I back in the day.
Me too. There was a lot of BS on there.
Same thing. And I think
because I used to be big in that world.
I think today's social is yesterday's message board.
Yes.
And so, but I mean, I can. And you're right. You said it better. It's because it was so recent. But I mean, I was following the Kiffin story, the pursuit of Kiffin as best I could, and because we're in this business, we're fortunate enough to have real sources, contacts that are close. I mean, I had somebody very close. I'll go ahead and say it. I had someone very close to Chris Kiffin that I was talking to that was talking to Chris Kiffin every day. That's Lane's brother, who's an assistant coach there, and he's got 4 kids, and Lane's got 3 kids, and they go to the same high school, and so, and then I would see stuff, and I had a few other sources, but that was one. I'll tell you. I'll go. You knew that because I've told you that before, and I had someone very, very, very close to the Florida side of it. So, again, I was told stuff off the record. I wasn't come back and say, oh, I knew that. I just didn't tell you. I don't want to be that guy. But I would see on social. And by the way, I didn't say stuff on the air because I was told not to. But I would see, which is why I didn't claim to know stuff that I might have known or not known. But like I'd see on social media, well, Kiffin has signed an MOU, which I learned was a memorandum of understanding. He's definitely coming to Florida. It's the only one with whom he signed an MOU, and I heard that from boosters. Well, I knew it wasn't true. But I was laughing about it. And then I saw so much of that. I saw one time that a prominent booster, someone sent me something that said prominent booster vetoed John Sumrall. Well, a prominent booster can't veto because they don't have, no matter how much money you give, you don't have that. So I followed it, and I guess I just was amused. Like now the word is that Florida gave Aaron Philo $3 million. Okay? Well, and then I saw a bunch of people on social losing their mind, fans, that how could they do that? And then I saw someone come back and say, by the way, that was an error. It wasn't $3 million. And by the way, I don't know. I don't have a source on that. But I just found myself, there's so much, and JJ's right, the message board was like that before, but there was so much misinformation that wasn't even close to true, and everybody believes it, which can become damaging to the case. I guess that's the point of it.
And I would imagine, obviously you follow who you follow, and then the algorithm will, if you're on the For You, it'll put in some additional stuff that it thinks might appeal to you. But I would imagine, so I don't follow anybody that covers Michigan, or I don't follow Wolverines coaches and stuff like that. But I would imagine that if you're in Michigan right now, going through a wild coaching search, there's probably that in Ann Arbor and around the state of Michigan. If you're part of the Wolverine fan base and you're on Twitter, you're probably seeing a lot of Kalen DeBoer's coming.
Yes.
Kalen DeBoer signed an MOU. I know, Jed Fish is in the, on campus today. So I just think
Don't forget the internet's favorite, Drinkowitz.
Yeah,
Drinkowitz. Yeah. So I mean,
he's everywhere.
He's taking every job.
Yeah.
I think when your school is going through a coaching search, it is going to be madness.
Yeah.
And I would guess, again, we don't see the Michigan stuff. I don't see anything with Michigan search at all.
That's a great point.
But I saw, something every 15 seconds on the Florida search as it was.
And I guess my point was, if someone says this has happened, and I know that it hasn't happened, where did it come from? I don't mind someone saying, hey, there's a rumor, that's different. Or I'm hoping and I think, and my recommendation would be, I'm okay. But I saw so much stuff where this has happened. And I'm thinking, do people make it up? Do they embellish? Do they take might happen and turn it into did happen?
That's what
so they can be the one that said it happened? I
think it's sort of like the game of telephone where it starts with hey, they're thinking about doing this, and then, but don't say anything. And then that person tells its next person, they're really leaning towards doing this, but don't tell anybody. And then that person goes to the next person and says,
they're doing this.
Yeah.
And maybe
and
you're
then
probably
that person posts it.
Yeah, and maybe
would be my guess.
But it was just amazing how much of that. Anyway, I got to kick out. That's one topic. Second topic. Puka Nacua made a point about the officials. You said earlier, you kind of, and I don't know that I disagree with you, that there are some officials that just call things that want to be seen on TV. Here's what I think with officiating and football officiating is really hard. It's the hardest one. It's the biggest field. Baseball, you kind of know where the play is. It's at the plate or one of the three bases for the most part of the foul lines. You pretty much know. Basketball, most of the action is in the lane. There's some fouls. There's some calls. You know about, and it's a 94-foot court, and so all officiating's hard. But football's the hardest. The field's gigantic. You're running. It's world-class elite athletes. I get it. But the biggest problem for me with football officiating is how over-officiated it is. That, to me, is the thing. How if officials always erred on the side of not throwing the flag, now they'd miss some, I think the game would be way better. I'm never terribly mad when a call didn't go for my team, when you interfered with my guy and it didn't get called, I'm not nearly as angry as when you call interference and it wasn't. When you call something that didn't happen. If you miss something that did happen, I can live with that. I really believe football officials should stop throwing nearly as many flags as they do. And you're going to miss some.
So bad.
Yeah.
I mean, these games are unwatchable.
Because they can't wait to throw it.
Like, it feels like a chore because I work and you have to do it for work. But some of these NFL games in particular, you're just like, dude, do you care that this is an entertainment product? They care so much about getting everything right. They forget that, and that goes with, the NBA, and they have to go and review every single little thing. It's like, you guys forget that this is about entertainment. And if you're turning somebody like me off, who is a lifelong sports diehard fan, you got an issue. And not everything needs to be called.
And that's my point. And so here's one way I would solve it. You'll laugh when I say this, but I'm serious about this. You know how they not stopped, but for the most part stopped people running onto the field and grabbing the ball or running on. You know how they stopped it? They quit showing it. Did you know?
Like streakers and whatnot.
Right. They quit showing it. And once they quit showing it, there's no point in doing it. Because now
there's no incentive.
Right. Now it came back a little bit because people on their cell phone, their camera phone started doing it. But for the most part, it went away because people quit. The TV networks quit showing it. So there's no incentive. I'm telling you, I would not show the referee. I would not show the official.
I love that.
That threw the flag.
I love that.
I'm not trying. I would not show him. I would not show the official that throw. If the flag comes out, I would go away and then let him just tell me what happened. I would not show the conferences.
Have a graphic.
Yeah, have a graphic up. I would quit showing the officials that throw the flag because then I'm not saying they're trying to get on TV, but it becomes an entertainment thing. I would not show it.
Interesting.
Have I lost my mind?
Well, I mean, this is what I would say.
It'd be different.
We always assume that the referee threw the flag, and 85% of the time he did not. So, and obviously he's the one that's communicating. Because I don't think the umpire that throws the flag.
I'm not talking about the referee necessarily. Now, maybe the referee too. I'm talking about the guy that threw the flag, the guy that comes and talks to the ref, the guy that runs up and talks to the ref.
Yeah, but sometimes I don't get the sense that those guys are looking to get on the camera. Because they're not really being highlighted, but the referee that has to announce it to the crowd is very much on camera every time they do it.
I'm sorry. I think back judge guy, I'm not saying he does it on purpose, but I'm thinking back judge guy that throws the flag, his family and friends and buddies that are watching, they know who he is, and they see him run to that ref. I'm not saying he does it because of that. Puka Nacua said that. I don't know enough to know that, but I wouldn't show it. I would don't show the back judge running to the right. I wouldn't show it.
By the way, you guys are getting ready to have potential miserable Sundays watching Jaguar Broncos.
Yes.
Because these two teams lead the NFL in penalties.
They're the most. Rick
well, dude, the Jags in general.
So be ready for each team to have 12 of these.
Their games will end at 4:30 every week. I don't understand what goes on with the Jags, but their games are late every week.
But I will tell you this: if it was me. If it was a delay a game, I'd give the full second afterwards. You'd have to if it's that formation thing where they're not set for a full second, let it go. I mean,
they also spend so much time before they tell you the penalty.
Right.
And then figuring out what to do after. It just takes so long.
What would you guys like? Let me throw this rule change at you. See if you guys would like this. What if we make a rule that once they throw 7 flags in a game,
you can do whatever you want?
There's no more penalties in a football game.
NFL Blitz.
Yeah, the Blitz.
One of my favorite video games.
I can, but no, I'd love that, by the way. There'd be no more penalties. But I mean, defensive holding. If you're going to call defensive holding, you better hold the heck out of the guy. In my mind, I mean, I think you need to hold the heck out of the guy. And so anyway, so we'll see. But
I just think we've forgotten that this is about entertainment, man. And I know it comes from above. And these leagues tell the refs to make sure that you get every single little freaking call right. And it goes overboard to me. It's tough to watch.
What I think they've been bad about this year, to your point about the conferences, is it doesn't feel like the replay has been as strong in terms of getting it right as it should be.
Yes.
And the touchdown to Parkinson the other day, I don't and there's been a few instances, it really feels like it's been more lately than all season. But it's like, how with replay did they still get this wrong?
You're exactly right. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, Kevin Kaplan's going to join us by phone. Just a quick update on health around the league. That's next. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
We got a great show for you today.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
A big show.
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
A king-size show.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000, and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember, only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
Rick Ballou here with a congratulations for John's Auto. They've been in business in Jacksonville for 40 years. That's right, going all the way back to 1985. Right now, they'd like to thank each and every one of you who's ever gotten their vehicle serviced at John's Auto. So, car, truck, or diesel, all makes, all models, whether it's a routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul, go to John's Auto on Arlington Road, JohnAutomotiveJacks.com.
Frank Frangie for Coil Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember when the Jaguars upset the Denver Broncos in the 1996 divisional round as a 14-point underdog and launched them into the AFC Championship? Well, you know who won't upset you? The team at Coil Fencing. Coil is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau and has been serving the Jacksonville community for nearly 100 years. From sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love to tough chain link for your commercial project, Coil does it all. Visit CoilJacks.com. That's COILE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
'Tis the season for bowl picking.
You got the chance to win $1,000 in jewelry from Beard's Diamonds.
Brought to you by Burlock and Barrel, American whiskey.
You watch them, but can you pick them?
Get your picks in at 1010XL.com.
The 12 Days of Christmas is back and better than ever at Best Bet. From December 12th to the 23rd, Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine are lighting up the tables with our much-anticipated High Hands promotion, giving away over $250,000 in cash. The excitement continues to grow each day, starting at $1,200 and climbing up to $2,300 every hour. See all the exciting details at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks,
van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, today in the program, we've taught a lot of Jaguar football. Trevor Lawrence, and boys, he's starting to emerge. Really happy for Trevor. A great time to be a Jaguar fan. Jags in Denver. What a fun game that's going to be coming up on Sunday. We talked a little bit about the portal, a little bit about social media. Brett Hastings stopped by and talked about the Sharon Moore situation in sports and courts, and we've had a very busy show today. Now this.
Now time for the medical update with Jaguars team physician Kevin Kaplan, presented by Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville.
All right, our friend Kevin Kaplan is with Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, doing a lot of that orthopedic stuff today. A lot of total surgeries today. How many today? I need to know.
I had 8 today.
Eight. Hey, Hayes has 8 more than you did today, okay?
That's incredible.
Eight surgeries today. So, all right, yeah. So Kevin joins us by phone. He's been a very busy guy. All right, a bunch of questions. Let me start with Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, gone for the year with an ACL, but they said the good news is there were no other ligaments damaged. Now, I guess that means MCL, PCL. So tell me about this, Kevin. Is that when we see ACLs, is it often more than the ACL, or was it really good news that it was just that with Mahomes? What's your take on all of that?
Well, actually, if you look at the reports now, they're saying there was a second ligament that he tore. So what I saw was that he tore the ACL and one of the collateral ligaments as well.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Oh, I didn't realize.
That's
Okay,
right.
so what does that mean?
Yeah, it's just, the idea when you have multiple ligaments, the ACL, typically when it tears, the knee swells. We do some rehabilitation before we do the surgery to get the knee moving a little bit. However, if you have one of those collateral ligaments, which is the lateral or outside ligament, or the MCL, if that's pulled off of the shin bone, those we typically fix right away. And I think that's why he has already had surgery, because if you wait too long, then those ligaments can scar, and it makes it very hard to repair those. Those aren't ones you reconstruct. So what I assume happened is he avulsed or pulled off the lateral collateral ligament, and they fixed that right away and also did the ACL right away. And the only risk there is, they caught it quick, so it didn't have much time to swell. So they'll start his rehab so that he doesn't get stiff. But those you have to fix right away.
Would they have fixed the LCL and then waited and then fixed the ACL like a couple weeks later, or is that not ever done?
That is an option if it's super swollen and the knee looks, like it's really irritated. And yes, you can do it in a staged fashion. But assuming that, his injury was Sunday, he had surgery either Monday or Tuesday, it's quick enough that, you can avoid some of that, swelling stiffness that you get when you have an ACL, and just take care of everything right then. Because if you wait, then you're just making the clock a little bit longer. And obviously for him, he's trying to get back by next season at some point.
Do you like his timeline, his chances to get back for week 1 if everything goes as it normally would?
I think what they'll probably do is start him on PUP because he's not going to be ready to do the entire training camp. And if you look at the average NFL football player, the time to return to football is about 10.5 months, or a little bit less than that. The extra ligament really doesn't change that timeline that much. It's all about getting the quad strong because the lateral collateral ligament is going to heal. The ACL, which we use a patellar tendon graft with some bone on both sides, that has to incorporate, and then you have to get your muscles back and strong. And that's what takes the longest amount of time. It's about getting the strength back and being able to do those things that functionally he has to do on a football field. So I think it's going to push the limit to try to get back by week 1. So they'll probably start him on PUP, and then as he's progressing, depending on how his strength is, then they can make a decision when to bring him off of that.
All right, let me get from one quarterback to another. Justin Herbert. So he broke up bone in his left hand. He had surgery, some sort of surgery, put a cast on it or whatever, then played. He couldn't hand off with that hand. But do you know anything more about that? Do you have a read on what? Because he's still playing. He's just playing with his hand all taped up.
Yeah, the hardware that we put in with metacarpal fractures and phalanx fractures is pretty rigid. I mean, they're strong constructs, whether it's a plate or whether it's a screw inside the bone. But there's still some inherent risk that you could twist the finger, or there's a little bit of torsion on the bone. And so, it is okay to play. Obviously there are risks, and he's still dealing with the fact. I mean, whether or not you put a plate on or put screws in, that realistically the bone is still broken. The plate and screws are holding it in place, and so he's still probably feeling discomfort, feeling pain, and that's why he's protecting it and wearing tape on it and the brace that they're trying to put on it so that when someone hits it or he takes a snap, it doesn't cause too much discomfort.
Now, Kevin, when they go into play, I mean, will it heal? Will it heal before the playoffs, or is he going to have to wear this club till the season, till next year? I mean, what? And I know you don't know; he's not your guy, but what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, most bones take about 6 weeks to heal. And the bone is going to start getting stickier. It's going to start forming callus, assuming that the bone ends are right up against each other. So, before 6 weeks playing without something, there's a little bit more risk there. So if he were with us and he had a fracture that we're playing with, I would protect it for that 6 weeks. All along, we're taking x-rays to see how it looks, how it's healing. When can we take that brace off if he doesn't like it? So it's very much a moving target with broken bones and how they heal.
I thought this was interesting in regards to Davante Adams. I don't know if you saw his injury Sunday, but basically he was running deep downfield and it looked like a sniper had gotten him. I mean, he just dropped to the ground and stayed on the ground for a very long time. Had a hamstring injury, was able to walk off. And the Rams are suggesting that they're not ready to rule him out for Thursday. Would that absolutely stun you if somebody who suffered a hamstring injury on Sunday could play in an NFL game on Thursday night?
Yeah, it would surprise me for sure. I mean, those types of injuries, when a guy goes down like that, I mean, it's not just, hey, my hamstring grabbed and they come off and they have a little bit of pulling on their hamstring. I mean, when you go down like that and you have trouble walking, we'd be able to see that on I know they have an MRI, and you can really grade those hamstring strains on where they're located. Is it only muscle? Is it where the muscle and tendon are, or does it go into the tendon? And based on where it is and the amount of muscle involved makes a determination on how quickly he can return to play. So for a sprinting athlete, I mean, it's different for different positions, but for a guy that's downfield running and cutting with that type of injury, it would really surprise me if he's back on this Sunday.
When I know we asked you about this before, but I want to go back to it. When Daniel Jones went down with the Achilles, right away, do you have that surgery? Is that a right away surgery? And what's the rehab for that? The time on that?
Yeah, so it is right away. You can't wait on the you can't wait on the Achilles. Very similar to other tendons that retract, like pecs and biceps and things like that. So, they make very tiny incision. They probably made a very tiny incision to basically put those tendon ends together. And again, it takes on the order of 3 months for those tendon fibers to actually grow together. And so he's going to be in a boot, basically protecting that, because you can't step down on it right away. If you do that, then you're going to just pull through all those sutures that are holding the tendon together. So you have to take measured steps in terms of being off of it, letting the tendon heal, and then slowly increasing the weight bearing, all the while trying to maintain the appropriate tension on that tendon. And that's the biggest problem, or the biggest risk with Achilles tears. If you don't get the tension right, then if you can imagine, the tendon's like a rubber band, and in order to push off, you need to have the appropriate tension. If that tension's off, then when they try to push off, they're going to have problems, and that's where that can affect, a player's career, and that's why you have to really be smart with how you fix it and how you rehab it.
Final thing, Kevin, 30 seconds here. Micah Parsons blew his ACL. Difference in a defensive end rehabbing versus a quarterback like Mahomes. I mean, rehab the same. I mean, you're a football doctor. How would it be different?
Rehab's the same. Range of motion, strengthening. Once you get your strength back, then you start working on the running, which is about 3.5, 4 months out, cutting at 6 months. And then you're working on your plyometric stuff, all waiting for that quad muscle to really get back to strength. And we have a lot of objective tests that we can do before we clear them back to go on the football field. But the same type of rehab process.
Interesting stuff. A lot of injuries this time of year. Kevin Kaplan, the terrific team surgeon for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cap, we appreciate it. I'll see you on the plane on Saturday. Man, it's going to be nice weather, by the way, like 50 degrees in Denver. Have you heard?
I can't wait. That's amazing.
Okay, we're not going to be freezing. Kevin, thanks, buddy. We'll see you Saturday.
All right, guys.
All right, Kevin Kaplan, the Jaguar team doctor. Back to wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The New York Knicks capturing the league's in-season tournament, the NBA Cup, on Tuesday night, beating the San Antonio Spurs in Las Vegas. The Oklahoma City Thunder, who were beaten by the Spurs in the semifinals, still remain the heavy betting favorite to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy and win the NBA title in back-to-back years. The Thunder are minus 105. The Denver Nuggets are plus 750. The Houston Rockets plus 1,200. The Knicks are the best bet out of the Eastern Conference at plus 1,300. The Cleveland Cavaliers plus 1,900. The Lakers are plus 2,200 to win this year's NBA championship.
Progressive helping veterans drive their lives forward. More info, keysofprogress.com.
I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. The year-end sales event is going on now at Atlantic Infinity. Get 0% interest on select new Infinity models and special lease offers on the stunning QX60. Luxury, performance, and style all in one drive. All new vehicles come with the Atlantic Infinity Promise. That's almost $7,000 in added value just for buying smarter. Visit AtlanticInfinity.com or go test drive at Atlantic Infinity off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This football season, Hurricane Grill and Wings is your game day getaway. Catch every play with the perfect drink in hand. Handcrafted cocktails like the Millionaire Margarita, Spicy Guavarita, Old Fashioned, or the Red Bullarita. Beer more your style to watch the games? Enjoy an ice cold Bud Light. Game day cocktails and Bud Light specials are here all season long at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Find a restaurant near you at hurricanewings.com.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what Wonderworld wants you to do. Wonderworld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to Wonderworld, They can't offer you the quality at the price that Window World can.
And with Window World, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, Window World and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with Window World, and to top it off, Window World windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with Window World. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
The holiday season is the season of love. If you're getting engaged now or just looking for that unforgettable gift for the woman you love, Beards Diamonds is here for you. This Christmas, Beards is proud to showcase the world's premier designers in both bridal and fashion. Like Sylvie, personalized, meaningful designs that enhance your unique lifestyle and personality. Celebrate your love, elevate your look, and shine brightly with exquisite jewelry from Sylvie. Celebrating 30 years of design expertise in both bridal and fashion. Beards Diamonds is the town center's local jeweler. So at Beards, you never have to settle for corporate chain store quality. We've put together our best selection ever of exquisite jewelry for the holidays. From the newest designer styles to classic diamond studs and diamond bracelets, with your choice of natural or lab-grown diamonds. Whether your holiday budget is a few hundred or a few $100,000, the experts at Beards will help you find the jewelry that reflects your love. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Back to Acoil & Sons Wednesday. Since 1927, they've been around the block and probably fenced it too.
Now we appreciate our friends from Coral and said, it's Christmas time, Caroline. Get in the pouch. What's in the pouch? Give me. There's got to be stuff. Every time, one day I'm going to go to the pouch and nothing's in there.
Yeah.
What's in the pouch? Give me
Listen,
something
I
away.
told you I was wearing my Santa hat today for a reason.
Yeah,
okay.
all right. What do you got?
I got a family 4-pack of tickets to see Sporting Jack's ladies match versus Tampa Bay Sun Football Club this Saturday, December 20th. So be car number 4 right now at 641-1010.
It's a good pouch. That pouch always has stuff. I mean, you go to that pouch, there's stuff in the pouch. So there you go. We'll be giving away stuff all the time, as long as the JJ's got the pouch going. So there is that coming up.
And I know Hayes despises
That's a good
Tampa
game.
Bay Sun.
The Tampa Bay Sun.
You hate them.
I mean, there's not enough time, words. But
you folks. You can't see it. You see the veins,
a seething
coming out.
anger.
The anger in the veins when Jacksonville plays Tampa Bay.
Hey, they really grind my gears.
Yeah, they do grind your gears. No question about that. Let's say hello to my good friend Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Hey, what's the hockey stick at your desk? What is it? What is it? I want the details on the hockey stick.
It's a lefty, so
Yeah.
I can't use it unless I decide to break something around here.
Yeah,
Someone
yeah.
like mentions Florida State.
Yeah.
I think it's from the old school Lizard Kings.
Oh, it is? Okay. All right. It's cool.
Not the Iceman.
You've seen the hockey stick right there? It is
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I just want to do the show one day.
It was
holding
like Bobby Orr's.
I want to do the show holding the hockey stick one time.
Yeah.
It made me look tougher. I just one show. Just do the whole show holding the hockey stick. I love the hockey stick.
It's great.
So
It is definitely the best weapon at the station.
You go
like
off
if you ever had to arm yourself quick,
I'm going right to
you're
Baloo.
going right to
yeah,
Baloo's
and,
stuff.
and you haven't even seen the weapons you can't see. That's just the one you can see because it's big. I was
going to say, don't open the drawer. I got a 44.
I found a chainsaw.
I was just going to say you can't see that. So how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Kidding me? I mean, this is what it's all about. This is the most fun that I can remember in quite some time in the month of December. It's been absolutely spectacular.
And I will tell you, I told Hayes this earlier, Rick, if Trevor Lawrence is emerging like I think he is, we're going to have some years of this.
Oh, I know.
I
know. And it took a little time to, evolve with yet again a totally new offense, but we all commented on it, and I really hammered the point that, and we'll never know unless they win a Super Bowl and write a book. But my whole point was for Liam Cohen, whoever it was, to walk into shotgun and Tony Baselli and say, I'm going to make Trevor Lawrence a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah.
Not this. The offensive line has been awful. We haven't drafted well. We can't. I mean, I'm sure some coaches kind of went through a litany of excuses. I want a guy to walk in and say, I'm going to make this guy a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I want to believe that that's what Liam Cohen did.
Well, it certainly feels that way. Hey, 10-4 and counting. What's coming up tonight?
We got a whole bunch tonight, John Osher, in an hour, but I got a lot of nuggets on this matchup at Mile High. Looking forward to it, and it should be a whole heck of a lot of fun.
Like nuggets, Rick's going into the night. That comes up right now. That'll do it for our program tomorrow. Now, 2 to 4, we'll be in here. Hayes, JJ, and I'll have it for you then. We're out of here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.
It's the ride home with The Frangie Show. From the Harold and Harold studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
Get straight talk from D-Rock.
So let me get this straight.
Mike DiRocco.
And we get his insight every Thursday from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Open by Lee and Kate's Glass. Guaranteed greatness since 1926 on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
The new Ackerman Cancer Center is now